Ever wondered about the microscopic defenders within our bodies that work tirelessly to prevent diseases like cancer? One such hero is the protein p53. This unique protein is encoded by the TP53 gene, a crucial component of our cells that regulates cell proliferation and acts as a powerful tumor suppressor. Imagine p53 as a vigilant watchman standing guard over the stability of our genome, ensuring it's not marred by mutations. In the grand scheme of life, this function is critically important. In eukaryotic organisms, p53 plays a dynamic role in suppressing cancer, providing a protective shield against this dreaded disease. What's more, p53 has the ability to stimulate apoptosis, that is, programmed cell death, if it detects irreparable DNA damage. Like a wise guardian, it knows when it's better to sacrifice one for the greater good. So, p53 is like a vigilant gatekeeper, ensuring that only healthy cells reproduce. Now, how does this guardian operate? Let's delve into the p53 regulation and signaling mechanism. The magic of p53 lies in its ability to control cell proliferation and act as a tumor suppressor. But it's worth noting that the concentration of p53 in a normal cell is quite low. This changes dramatically when the cell experiences DNA damage or stress signals, causing the p53 levels to rise and springing this guardian into action. So what exactly does p53 do when it's called to duty? It performs one of three critical functions: cell cycle arrest, DNA repair, or apoptosis. In the case of cell cycle arrest, p53 turns on the activation of a protein known as p21, also called WAF1. p21 then binds to the G1 cyclin, putting a pause on the cell in the G1 phase. This is because the cyclin can no longer bind to its cyclin-dependent kinase, or CDK. But that's not all. p21 also interacts with a protein known as proliferating cell nuclear antigen, or pCNA. This interaction inhibits DNA replication, further ensuring cell cycle arrest. The regulation extends to the G2/M transition of the cell cycle as well. p21 inhibits cyclin B, which is responsible for the activation of CDK in the G2/M checkpoint, providing another layer of cell cycle control. When it comes to DNA damage, p53 again plays a crucial role. The cell cycle arrest, activated by p53, triggers the transcription of proteins involved in DNA repair. This helps to rectify the damage, ensuring the cell's DNA remains intact and functional. In the case of irreparable DNA damage, p53 stimulates apoptosis, or programmed cell death. This prevents the propagation of damaged cells, reducing the risk of cancer development. As we see, p53 plays a pivotal role in maintaining the integrity of our cells. It's truly fascinating how this complex mechanism works to prevent cell damage and suppress tumor formation. Indeed, p53 is the unsung hero, the guardian of the genome, working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep our cells healthy. Let's focus on one of the key functions of p53, cell cycle arrest. The p53 protein plays a critical role in preventing the division of cells with damaged DNA. It does this through a process known as cell cycle arrest. Now, you may be wondering, how exactly does this happen? Well, the story begins with the activation of a protein called p21, also known as WAF1. When p53 senses DNA damage or stress signals, it springs into action, increasing in concentration and activating p21. This activated p21 then binds to a protein known as the G1 cyclin. This binding of p21 and the G1 cyclin is crucial because it effectively arrests the cell in the G1 phase of the cell cycle. The G1 cyclin can no longer bind to its cyclin-dependent kinase, or CDK, a step that is necessary for the cell to progress to the next phase of the cell cycle. But p53's role in cell cycle arrest doesn't stop there. The p21 protein also interacts with a protein called proliferating cell nuclear antigen, or pCNA. This interaction inhibits DNA replication, further enforcing cell cycle arrest. And there's more. p53 also regulates the transition between the G2 phase and the M phase of the cell cycle. It does this by promoting the inhibition of cyclin B by p21. Cyclin B is responsible for the activation of CDK at the G2/M checkpoint. Thus, by inhibiting cyclin B, p53 effectively prevents the cell from progressing to the M phase, where cell division occurs. In the case of DNA damage, the cell cycle arrest by p53 also activates the transcription of proteins involved in DNA repair. This is yet another way in which p53 helps to maintain the integrity of our genome. Through these meticulous processes, p53 ensures that damaged DNA doesn't get a chance to replicate, protecting us from potential diseases. Remember, understanding the workings of our cells isn't just for scientists. It's knowledge that empowers each of us in our journey of health and well-being. Until next time, stay curious.